Hello, all. This is the Deep Diver. And in line with my announcement, I have a new series called The Cartoon Connection. Now, I've studied voice work in cartoons most of my life, watching, understanding, detailing them. Very interesting stuff. And the older I get, the more I notice messages or ideas or new ways of thinking that I didn't really could comprehend as a child, like jokes that go over kids' heads or inside jokes or, references. But the more I got down into it, the more I found out about myself and life through cartoons, through art, or one's expression of the word art. And I want to cover several cartoons or animations that really kind of changed my view of the world pretty drastically because you see, childhood's like a pond, in my opinion. Whatever you do is going to send ripples between when somebody throws a rock, it's going to throw ripples. It's going to make ripples throughout the whole thing. And again, in hindsight and maturity, I can see more clearly the message or the idea. And the first cartoon I would like to talk about is Dexter's Laboratory Ego Trip, which stars Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory and himself and himself and himself going to fight evil. Now, the movie, it's been a minute since I've seen it, but the movie has Dexter going through time as himself and picking up himself throughout the time periods. He meets different versions of himself as a cartoon character, which is very funny thing to imagine, meeting your future younger self with the impact. And Dexter finds out a little process I like to call the three conflicts. First, he meets oldest Dexter, who is a genius, but he's not very physically able. He has to move around through help. Okay. Then there's adult Dexter, who is shown to be a cowardly, lowly, pathetic, apologetic wimp of a man. Okay? The younger Dexter, as a child, berates his older self. Just by how things changed, how things went differently. And you come to find out, the big bad. I'll get to that in a minute. And then Dexter meets his older self. And now let me rewind this. You see, the main villain of the story, there is a character. His name's Mandark. Okay? And him and Dexter, all throughout time, it's always been them. Okay? But the real villain isn't Mandark. It's institutions. Now you're wondering why I say that. Well, you see, the main crux of the movie is that Dexter invented Utopia. No, he invented a machine that goes in your ear, you turn on, and it makes you a genius. Utopia. Everybody's shown wearing lab coats. There's no crime. There's art. Nobody goes without. Okay? A perfect world. Something very fictional. But, you see, Mandark doesn't like that. He doesn't like all these geniuses, all these people, and all their abilities. So, what he does is flip a switch. And it goes from utopic paradise to medieval nightmare. Because it turns all the people dumb. They can only toil. They're living in mud huts. It's not a pretty sight. And myself, I couldn't help but see kind of the similarities. You know, about disillusionment with the system, with people, and just kind of the evil that's just prevalent and just mundane. As a man with 2 degrees and feeling like an idiot and stupid, it was already there for me. It was already there. Anyway, the last Dexter is a Dexter evolved, I guess, or moved under the boot of Mandark's regime. It becomes a muscle bound, red bearded, sleeves ripped off, what I like to call a battle scientist or a future fighter who wants to stop Mandark. And they succeed. They succeed. The Dexters are, at the end are all fighting the version of Mandark that, aligns with them. Kid Dexter and Mandark, old Dexter and Mandark, adult Dexter and Mandark, and villain and hero Mandark in Dexter. And it's just this greater idea of that what really is the goal, what is utopia, if it can just be flipped off at the whims of another? What is the point? What's the idea? I don't know. I'd like to anybody go off in the comments and tell me about it if they remember the movie. I think it's a good movie, regardless of message. And yeah, highly recommend it. Please, any and all advice and comments would be welcome. Have a nice day. Bye.